Hey, so it's May 2019 and wind flirter's still in the backyard, and I really wanted to get the windows, the port lights replaced or repaired or resealed because we've been having pretty bad leaks. This acrylic is going back 40 plus years, so not only is it just not sealed very well anymore, and many attempts have been made to try to reseal the individual screw holes. It uses this weird putty compound in the seals, in the seams here, as opposed to just a silicone or a window adhesive. So I'm going to try to pull these off and get the mounts cleaned up and see what we can do with it. Look at these. That is disgusting. Wow. So, yeah, whatever this goopy, I think it comes in a roll, I forget what it's called, but whatever this stuff is, it was not at all holding the window on. The only thing holding the window on was the silicone that had been applied on the outside after the fact, and the screws. So no wonder we've been having so many problems with leaks. So I got the port lights removed. It wasn't too difficult because they just weren't really seated or sealed on there very well. Probably going to need to do something with this window frame, but I had every intention of trying to be cheap and reuse these windows, but they came off in pieces. I guess many seasons since the 70s have just taken its toll on this boat. So I will not be reusing these after all. Alright, just got back from picking up the new windows. Let's take a look at them. I decided to go with a 3/8 inch acrylic at the advice of a friend and fellow boat owner who's done this job before. The plastic company suggested I go with a Lexan 1/4 inch, which would have been a lot more cost, but I think what we've got here should outlast the boat even still. I like the tint on this. It's a little bit darker than what was on the boat before, and it should really help keep the heat out and add some extra privacy during the day. Alright, time to get this baby uncovered. I got this weak tarping job on here just to try to keep the rain out because it's been raining every single day since I ordered these windows. So now we get to get started. First things first, we're just going to dry mount the acrylic windows on the boat where they're supposed to go. This serves the purpose of being a test fit, but also lets us trace out the shape of the inside of the window so we know where to remove the plastic backing when we're ready to apply the adhesive to the window. So ran into a little issue here. I was trying to install the windows dry to test fit them and to trace out the inside frames, and the screw holes didn't line up. So I was like, okay, well this must be I'm on the port side right now, so I was like, this must be the starboard window. So I take the window to starboard side, the drill holes line up perfectly. Like, all right, we're back in business. Got that up there. Then get the other window and go stick it up on the port side. Screw holes still don't line up. So I went and looked at the old original windows, and this boat, being manufactured 40 plus years ago, was very much heavily handmade. So I'm assuming that each of these individual windows was hand drilled and not to the exact same template mirror imaged. And I'm assuming that the plastic company just drilled the same screw hole pattern for each of the two different size windows. So I have 2 starboard large port lights and 2 starboard small port lights. what I've decided to do is just drill new holes to match the hole pattern that's in the windows I have. The old holes that aren't going to be used are covered up by the sealant anyway, so I don't have to fill them. But there were unfortunately a couple holes that were too close to where I needed to drill the new hole, and I did have to just drill those out bigger, stick a dowel with epoxy in them, and then drill the proper hole through that. After the windows are dry mounted, the next step is to mask off the area with painter's tape. I go about a 1/4 inch out from the glass and try to keep it as straight as possible. Anywhere where there is a curve, I just overlap the tape in straight lines, and it's pretty easy to eyeball with a razor blade and cut that curve out by hand. Alright, so there we go. I've got the surfaces cleaned off as best I can. I've got the outside perimeter of the port lights taped off. And now we just need to start working on installing the new port lights. So now I've brought the windows inside to start prepping them to mount. I'm going to start by taking a razor blade and cutting along that line that I traced from inside the cockpit earlier to cut out the entire perimeter of the window. I'm going to grab a little piece of the protective plastic and just peel that completely off to expose the mounting area. Then I just take a sanding block and go completely around that area to rough it up, which gives the adhesive something to stick to. Whew, hot one today. It's Friday. The wind is blowing and the storm is coming. So I got to get these windows on. Down here, I've got the perimeter peeled off, and I've got this roughed up and sanded just enough to get the shine off. Try to get that out of the sun there. And it is ready to mount. Up here on the vessel, I've got my holes that were wallered out there refilled and re-drilled and re-tapped so the screws bite nicely, and I've sanded the perimeter around where the adhesive is going to go. So the last thing to do is I'm going to rub the surfaces down, both the boat and the windows, with some acetone. Just 100% guaranteed that there's no oils or fingerprints or anything that's going to interfere with the adhesion of the silicone, and it'll be time to mount them up. So let's see how that goes.
Thick enough?
Yeah, looking good. Paint it all, butter it all on there. Alright, so now we take the flashlight and we're going to just butter over any little spots that I missed, because it's really hard to see trying to spread black silicone on black windows. So we take the flashlight on the back side here, and then there's over here some spots there. And then anywhere the light shines through, you just spread it out a little bit more.
And I haven't had a chance to go along that side yet.
using these bamboo skewers here to help us get lined up. You go first.
I don't know where the hole is.
Should be where the Sharpies intersect there.
Yeah. Oh, is that it? There it is.
Got it?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, good.
That's all. Then we start a screw.
We left the paper on, we got the screws about 3/4 of the way in, but the washers are still loose. That's just enough to start peeling this backer off. As you can see, it's just a big nasty mess. So we leave the backer on as long as possible. And now we just hand tighten.
We'll switch bits.
While he's doing that, I'm going to start going along the edge here. Alright. Finish beveling around the edges here. By the way, the corners of plexiglass are sharp. I thought they were going to knock those down for me at the facility, but they did not.
Yeah, have them made. It'd be a good idea to have them rounding for you.
Yeah. Alright. Now we peel this off just like that. I am gross. Hey, alright, now we're inside the boat here. Sorry it's a mess. So, our next step here, just kind of pried up a piece where I can start peeling. Now I'm coming along where it squeegeed out on the inside. And just giving a nice smooth bead. And then we take this backing off here. Try and not touch my nasty, goopy fingers on the pristine glass there. There's a couple little spots where the plastic kind of pulled it down. I'm not too worried about it. And the reason is because we will be putting the inside window trim back on. This is the old window trim right here, but it is so gross that I want to see if I can find something a little bit newer and a little bit better. And just like that, we are done. I am so happy to be finished with this project, but I am happy with the results. I think the boat looks great, and I'm thrilled to have the biggest source of leaks in the cabin fixed, because those old windows were bad. If you liked what you saw, or you have any critiques, post a comment down below. Like and subscribe. I'll try to post more videos to YouTube, but you should follow me on Instagram where most of my content is. It's at svwindflirter. And I'll see you next time.